So let's get into it. Task one, all right, is just here. So literally all you have to do is pick 3 clients, okay? Your first client, we want it to be a female. And the reason why we want it to be a female is because majority of your clients will be females. Like I
Yeah.
think when I was a PT, 85, 90% of my clients are females, and I only had a very small percentage that were male. So we wanted to do a case study on a female because that's a real life scenario. Majority of your clients will be females. Cool. All right. Your second client has to be a client over the age of 55. This client can be a male or a female. I don't care, but it has to be an older client. The reason why we've got older client is because a part of your Cert 3, one of your units is training older adults. So you have to do an older client to tick off that unit of competency. Cool?
Right.
Yeah. And then the third client is going to be an athlete. And the reason why we got an athlete is because everyone who does our course, are athletes.
Yeah.
And a majority of you guys, and including you, because you've spoken to me about it, eventually kind of want to go down that field of working with athletes, helping athletes improve, etc., etc. So to have the opportunity to work with an athlete through your case study is going to give you that kind of taste of what it's going to be like to work with athletes.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, heaps.
Cool. All right. So there's 2 parts to this first kind of task. So part 1 is your pre-screening, and so that's the pre-screening that you did with me. Remember that day we went to Rhino and did that? So it's exactly the same. Cool. So it's pretty straightforward. So I'll just quickly run through it. So obviously you need to get consent. So you need to print this off, Georgia. You can't do it like on the computer. You got to print it off and get them to sign it, and then upload it back up again. Just scan and upload it. Cool. So then you got personal information. You got your exercise risk assessment all there. Nutrition. 1-day food diary. This one's really important because in your case study they ask some questions on this. So make sure, as I said to you when we did this a few months ago or a month ago now, detail. Don't just skim over this. You want as much detail in there as possible. Because the more detail in here, the better it's easier it's going to be for you to answer questions. Cool.
Yeah.
Then you got like training availabilities, what they like and dislike, their goals. So again, we want to try and get 3 goals out of our clients. They might only have 1 goal, but it's our job as fitness professionals to really kind of push and try and come up with 3 goals. Your underlying motive is why they want to achieve that goal, and how it's going to make them feel is emotional connection, because again, that's a really powerful tool that we're going to use to get them to start training with us. So that's why we're going to get that through. Motivation, barriers to exercise, injuries, get them to sign it. Cool. Easy, straightforward. All right. So then after that, then the second part of this is the fitness appraisal. So again, we did this together, but this is like your 6 functional movement exercises, how they perform them in a minute, how many reps they did, and then comments on their technique and their ability. Again, like print this off, write it out, and then just bring it then you scan it back up and you scan it all together as one document. So put this at the back page of the pre-screening and just put it all together as one. Cool.
Okay.
All right. So for individual testing, all right. So what I would recommend, so write this down. So because your individual testing is going to be consistent across the board. We always want to do the same testing with every client. Again, because consistency is a really big thing and a really important thing, especially if clients are referring new clients to us. We want to give everyone the same experience. So I would suggest your first test would be like a cardiovascular test, but a cardiovascular test that you can do with inside a gym.
Yeah.
So like everyone always chooses things like a beep test.
No.
But for one, the older clients are never going to be able to do a beep test.
Takes forever.
Takes forever. And 2, you have to have the field and have to have everything to be able to do that. Okay. So stuff like what Adam Good spoke about back in module 1 about they do a 1 minute row test, or a 300-meter row test. Things like that is what I would be choosing for test number 1. Test number 2, I'd be doing a flexibility test. So you've got your sit and reach test is probably your most popular flexibility test. Another one that you can do, again, what Goody spoke about, is your standing pike. So that's another good flexibility test that you could do. But again, you can pick whatever flexibility test that you want. Again, the reason why I want to do flexibility, everyone has got poor flexibility, and flexibility is a big thing that is going to improve overall well-being. So that's why. The third one, we want to do like a body composition test. And I personally would recommend to do a hip to waist ratio test. So that's the one that you and I did the other day, where you got the tape measure, you measure around their hips, you measure around their waist, and you get a result. Okay?
Cool.
Whatever test you choose here, just make sure online you can find standardized benchmarks. Because if you can't, you're going to get to a question in I think it's like task 7, and you're not going to be able to answer it, because to answer that question, you need to look at standardized benchmarks and then look at how your client went against those benchmarks. So make sure whatever test you choose, you have those benchmarks, because you need those for your.
And I can just like Google them, hey?
100%. Just Google them. Yeah. Google them, or like you can, or if you've got it, like when you're at training, you can ask someone about it. Like it doesn't really matter as long as you've got those benchmarks. You just need those later on. Cool. All right. Any questions?
I think that's all good.
All good. Yeah. Sweet, man. All right. We'll close those down. Cool. All right, so that's task number 1. Okay, so obviously you can't move forward until you do that task. All right, so get onto that.
That's the pre-screening and stuff.
Yeah. So get onto that straight away. So choose who your clients are going to be and get onto that and get that done. Is that cool?
Cool.
Yeah. If for some reason you say you can't find an athlete, or you can't find an older client, it can be what we call like simulated, which means that like you get a friend to pretend to be someone over the age of 55, and you can do it on them, but you should be able to find.
I got people.
Yeah, many people. Yeah. So go through it.